So I'm taking a look at some more EarFun products. These are some active noise cancelling earbuds from them. They are called the Free Pro 3s. They have up to 43 decibels in noise reduction, IPX5 rating to them, so getting a little bit of sweat on them when you're training won't be an issue. A little bit of rain too, it's not going to be a problem. Capacitive touch controls. And with the application, there are different noise cancelling modes, including like a wind filter mode too for them. This bottle also does have air hooks. So if you train, you decide to go for a run with them, as I'll show you later on, they're going to be very firm too when they sit inside your ears. They only weigh 5 grams, and I'll let you know how they sound. I'll give you a microphone sample too in this review. And what do we have included inside the box? Well, a user manual. This is a guide on cleaning the charging points and the mesh inside and the ear tips. They give us a little cleaning stick here. So you use that with a little bit of alcohol. They've got different size tips here, so extra small to extra large there, and even some foam tips and some different sizes there for the air hooks. And this here is a support card. And our Type-C to Type-A charging cable. So it will take around about 2 hours to fully charge them and the case. However, in 10 minutes of charging, that will give us 2 hours of playtime. Runtime of the earbuds, well, that is 7.5 hours. That's with the ANC off, of course, and then with the case, in total 33. And it's a very nice small size case. If you're wondering if it's going to fit in that little jeans pocket on the right-hand side of your jeans, yes, it will. It's like it's been designed for that. Now, it does support Qi Wireless standard Type-C port on the back here. Status LED you see at the front of it. Status LEDs within the earbuds, on the earbuds themselves, and a little button right here. This is for resetting them and for the multi-point connection too. So they do support that, which is great. Now they fit inside here with magnets like all of the other ones. The Pogo port connectors you can see are there. So they fit into place quite nicely. And when I do shake that, there is no rattling at all. So it passes my little rattle test. Magnet keeps the lid down. And overall, it's a nice, small, compact case, yet it does not skimp at all on our battery life, being 33 hours in total using ANC off and the SBC or AAC codec. So we have capacitive touch controls here on this surface. I like the small size of them. You can see a microphone right here. There's another one there at the top for the active noise cancellation. So that is up to 43 decibels. There's also an anti-wind mode. I'll show you with the application how to turn that on. These are our silicone ear hooks there, so you can swap those over for different sizes, just like you can put on different tips right here and use the foam ones too if you like and prefer those. For me, the medium size has been good. Gives me a good seal, so you get that great bass and you get the proper active noise cancellation. Charging pins are right there. The quality of these plastics are good, no sharp edges. They do not feel cheap, and I find the touch controls are working well with them. And of course, with that IPX5, sweat and water will not be a problem with these, so you can wear them in the rain, and training, getting a bit of sweat on them will not be an issue. So just in there, you can see the little metal mesh and the driver. So this one is 7mm, a wool composite dynamic driver. How's the fit then of the Free Pro 3? Well, they do fit in my ears really good thanks to that air hook design with that silicone at the top of them, as I showed you. It means that you can jog on them, jump up and down like I am now, move your head about. They're not going to come out. They don't feel like they're going to pop out on me. So very secure fit, which is great. And it gives me a lot of confidence that I can move about freely with them and not have to worry about them dropping out on me. And what do the Free Pro 3s sound like? Well, very good. It definitely goes against that misconception that smaller drivers are not what you want for big bass. The larger the driver, the better normally, right? But it's a bit different with in-ears because, well, the smaller size here, 7mm drivers there, the wool composite as just mentioned before, deliver excellent bass. I was really surprised by this. So when you have the good seal, you put them in, the bass is booming. Now, I've been listening to a complete flat equalizer here, and I've noticed that the vocals are good, and we're not missing out on those highs too. So we still get a lot of detail there, crisp highs that aren't overly sharp either. So I find the bass to be powerful. Top end volume is reasonable. They're not the loudest I've heard out there, but they really do sound excellent. They've surprised me with their sound quality coming from the 7mm driver to deliver basically the full bass, good vocals and mids, and those excellent highs. So well done EarFun. They've done an excellent job with the tune of these. Latency. This used to be the big problem with Bluetooth. The big Achilles heel was the latency. Has always been a bit of an issue with the older codecs and the chipsets and whatnot, but it's improving. It's always getting better. Now, with that gaming mode on, 55 milliseconds, watching an episode of Band of the Brothers here with Netflix streaming, not a problem. It's more or less in sync perfectly with the actors' mouths, and I don't see it being out of sync at all, so that's great. The only time you will notice it is gaming. Even though it's in the gaming mode, you'll sometimes see it being out a little tiny bit, but here with streaming, I think it's just fine, and you can use these. It's not like what it used to be years ago where Bluetooth was terrible. The audio would be lagging behind by a split second. Not anymore.
How about our mic quality with the free Pro 3s? Well, I think this is the weakness. I wish the mics were just a little bit clearer here. I mean, they're okay for handling voice calls. You can be understood, but I wouldn't say these are the best that I have heard. So this is one area where they could improve things. And maybe that could happen with a firmware update. We'll have to see what happens.
EarFun's app does deliver. I like it. It's straightforward. So when you first get into it, by the way, you don't have to register. You can just skip that part, skip the login, and just go straight into it. But if you want, you can, of course, sign up and be part of all of that. So you can see here the battery life of the case, the battery life of both of the earbuds, and its status being connected there, of course. Now, straight away here, you've got this menu, so you can have the noise cancelling on, or the ambience. You can bring in the outside noises, amplifies them slightly, and this is great. If you are going to be out training with these, you want to hear traffic approaching, you can turn that on. If you're with some co-workers and you're at work, or maybe you're just on a break or something, so you want to zone out a little bit, but you still want to hear if someone actually mentions your name or calls out to you, then put that mode on, of course. Now, they do have this, which is ear adaptive. So I've kept it on the default here, but it can tailor to your individual ear canal for enhanced ANC, but I found it to be pretty good already. You've got wind cancellation, wind noise cancellation, and you have the normal mode too that you can put on. Now, normal mode is where you get the best battery life up to that 7.5 hours, and when you turn the ANC on, it drops it down a little bit to I've got about 5, just over about 5 hours or so with it. 4.5, 5 is what you typically get there. Gaming mode, so it brings the latency down to 55 milliseconds. You've got their own built-in equalizer here, so you have different options, which is really good. So it is all there just from this one screen, really, and that is good. However, you can jump into the settings. You've got a few other things like tutorials. You have their Bluetooth qualities. This is important. If you want to use the Qualcomm aptX adaptive, which I've been using the whole entire time, then you need to have this. But in order to get it, you need to have, of course, a Snapdragon powered phone for this to work. Relatively new, although aptX adaptive has been around for some time now. Or you can put the stable connection first and put that on, and it'll go to the SBC codec or AAC. Now, I haven't had any problems with the connection. I haven't had any disconnections at all from using the adaptive aptX. Has not been a problem there for me. So you can customize even the touch controls, go in and do that. And you'll see we've got an option there for the dual device connection, which is multi-point, of course. So there's a lot in there. Find them, even find your headphones if you do lose them, and to reset them. So overall, good application. It's got a lot in there. Now, these are comfortable to wear, and as I showed you before, jumping around, they're not going to come out. So to place them in your ears, very easy. Hey, you got the left and right, of course, in the left and right position. So you take them out, put them in, you push down the ear hook, and that's it. They sit in there snugly, and because they only weigh 5 grams, they are nice and light, they're nice and small. They never really give me that feeling that they're going to drop out on me. Now, I haven't had any disconnections from them at all. The capacitive touch controls are working about 9 out of 10 times for me. A couple of times I have gone along and tapped them and just gone, hello, no one's home. I have to repeat it, but that is only about every once out of 10 times that will happen to me. So sound quality wise, they are very good. Don't be put off by the 7mm driver, because a lot of people will probably look at these and go, oh, I want a 10mm driver. That's what the competition's got. Well, these produce some very deep bass, really powerful. I'd even probably turn it down myself a little bit with the tune they do have out of the box. Highs are there, they are detailed, and a vocal sound good. The mids are great again, and the application has got a lot of options there with your ANC. Speaking about the ANC, tested it out now with some sample tracks of both a train station, inside a train, and also an aircraft cabin, and you do notice it. It brings that ambient sound right down. There really is only one area I can criticize these, and that is the microphone quality. From the sample that I just gave you before, I think it could be better. I've certainly heard better out of the competition. That's the one area that I hope that EarFun can improve upon with this model. I think if they can release a firmware update that they can just tweak it a little bit to improve it, that would be fantastic. So thank you so much for watching my review here of the Free Pro 3s.